If you've struggled with stress, balance, or burnout, and simply feel discouraged or even defeated, and if you're ready to move from force to flow and enjoy ultimate Zen success in your career, health, or relationships, then the Zen Success Show is for you. Your host, Carissa Sims, is an entrepreneur, corporate consultant, best-selling author, meditation teacher, and healer who has found her own Zen success. Here's your host, Carissa Sims. Welcome to this week's episode of Zen Success. Today, I have the joy of speaking with Nancy Orlen Weber. Hi, Nancy.
Oh, Carissa, hello. So good to see you and speak with you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be in your presence, in your energy. Just, you have so much wisdom and you have so many amazing books out right now. I want to share a little bit more about you.
Thank you. And don't be surprised if I ask you questions.
Oh my gosh. That would be so amazing, especially coming from you. So, Nancy Orlen Weber is the author of the books. She's got them right there. Soul Detective, The Life of a Psychic Detective, and All Nature Speaks, Conversations with Pets and Wildlife. And we were talking before the show started about how that might be a good TV show. And she has her Soul Talks show, right, on YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And she helps people discover their own innate connection with all of life through her writings, workshops, and private sessions. And I think you might need to talk to my daughter about our connection with spiders. She has a little bit of a fear, and last night she was screaming. We found the spider next to a stool, and she's like, "Get it, mommy, get it." So anyway.
Well, I believe some of it because my sister and my mother both had the same thing. Any insect.
Yeah. Any insect. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So one of the things I find helpful,
okay,
just one point, very practical, is I would look up pictures of spiders and point out this one does this kind of work, this one does this kind of work, and this one we should be afraid of.
Yeah.
Like the brown recluse, right? And that these we don't even see in our state or country. Right? So she goes, oh, I don't have to be afraid of that one.
Yeah, good point.
I could be worried about this one. So show her, like with people, if you're prejudiced, you lump everybody in the same bag.
There's a fear of everyone or a fear of certain
groups
of people.
So in insects, that's a baggage. Spiders.
Yeah.
Right? That's anything that people are afraid of. So I had a phobia years ago. I understood where it came from, the root.
Okay. You knew the source. And what was the source of it? Was it a past life or?
Probably part of it. It was snakes of any kind, but it was also parasites in my body that I was born with.
Interesting.
Right. And so when I realized that, I took myself into a lot of unusual ways of addressing things and usual ways. I didn't go to a therapist. I wrote about my fear and I practiced and practiced and practiced. And I had a friend do some EMDR with me, bihemispheric activity. I had put on music years ago in 79. I learned about super learning.
Oh, great. Can you share about EMDR for our audience?
Sure.
It's a type of therapy.
So I'll back up and say, in the 60s, late mid-60s, I married a man who did split brain studies with one of the associates of the Nobel Prize winner who won the Nobel Prize on split brain.
So that was your destiny, right?
Right, exactly, split brain. Oh, part of my brain loves to draw, and the other part loves geodesic domes. Right. It's all the same. So, but I knew I had to integrate them from trauma.
I see.
And so I developed some techniques, for instance, imagining a male and female, me and a man I didn't know, and it didn't matter what your sexual orientation is. I knew it was right and left hemisphere represented. And I had them picture being very, very close and loving and trusting. And then it broke apart. And so I knew that was the model of the input I had over years of you cannot trust your own intuition for yourself. You can trust it for others, but you cannot trust it for yourself.
I
So
have
not
that belief
trusting
a
my,
little bit too.
yeah, I think many people do.
Yeah.
It's how you, it's, it's also, it's past lives, it's DNA, but it's also how you were trained when you were little to trust your intuition or not, right? And how they believed you or not. So I carried that. And one day I did this technique that I'm talking, visualizing. And I knew that if I kept the same pattern, it was just an electronic thing in my brain, like a recording going over and over the same story. I knew I had to stop it. So as soon as we started arguing, I killed him. I shot him. And he drops down, and I had his spirit. I imagined a spirit coming up and saying, "Why did you do that?" I said,
Mm.
"Well, he doesn't know the word no." And they said, "Well, what if he gets that? Would you give him another chance?" I said, "Of course." So spirit goes back in the body, and the body stands up and says, "I am so sorry." And we made a deal about how his behavior changed under certain circumstances that frightened me, which is the trigger from childhood
Hmm.
that would shut me down and not allow the right and left hemisphere to cross. From that day on, I didn't have a problem with it,
With snakes.
with anything.
With anything. Oh my gosh.
Relationships.
That's
First,
amazing.
it was relationships. Overnight, that changed for me.
Oh, wow.
Literally overnight.
Oh, that's amazing. Mm.
Right.
So it's
Snakes took a
all
little
connected.
longer.
Because at first
Yeah.
you were talking about the fear of snakes, and then you realize this connection to relationships.
Think of your daughter and spiders and the
Yes.
web.
The
It's
web.
all connected.
Yes.
Get it?
Yeah.
So I take it up to that and say, okay, all those connections are there. We just have to understand that we can address it in the time and rhythm that our body, soul, spirit can, the rhythm it can handle.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
snakes took longer. And my husband, who loved and raised snakes at one point before I knew him, right? Oh my God, did he learn a
Isn't that
lesson with me?
ironic?
Ooh, I don't know what word to call it, actually. It's
I
so
know what
short.
word you want to call it.
I have. I've called it everything.
Crazy, insane. What are
Well,
you doing?
the first time I met him, oh my
Did he
God,
bring a snake? And here's
he
like,
had
here's
no, no
Freddie.
clothes. Yeah, yeah. So he wanted me to see his home where we would be living. So we walk in and there's a piano, and on the piano is a cage with a snake.
It's
So he
so
goes, "Oh,
inviting.
I have to take care of her, Clara." So he goes down to the basement first, comes up, and apparently she's wrapped around his body because she needed friendship. That's what he said. And he had his arms full of something in his hands. He said, "Hey, do me a favor, take Clara, and can you put it back in the cage?" I ran out and went into the car, shaking
Oh,
like a leaf at that time.
at this point, he had no idea of your fear or anything. Yeah.
Nor did he understand it.
Yeah.
So when he came in, he said, "I put her in the cage." And he tried to touch me. I said, "Don't touch me. You had a snake." I don't, a poor soul. He had no clue how to
Oh my
handle his
gosh. Is
phobias
that
at
like
all.
God playing a joke on you,
Oh, a big
helping you
joke. More
heal
than
too?
that, in many directions. Because he's one, I married one of the quickest wits I've ever met. His whole family's like that, and they are hysterical. So I just sit back and laugh. But anyhow, time came where there was a little snake somewhere crossing our path. And he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, it's just a little garter snake." Because I knew the difference between a garter snake and a boa, python and something else. And then I read many years before Kinship with All Life by J. Allen, Allen, Boone, like Daniel Boone, Boone. And it's essays on how he learned soul talk with every living form. It is still in existence in print, maybe 80 years now. It is one of the best books I've ever read on the language of all life. It is brilliant and beautiful and sweet. And I read it to my kids again and again. I still have copies of it. I refuse not to read. And one of them is about a little, I don't know what the name is for the people who work with snakes, I forgot. But she was a little slip of a woman, and they had just caught one of the largest pythons, and they released it with her in a very long corridor kind of place, and a looking glass, one way looking, they could see. She just stood stock still, and the python came and lay down and went to sleep at her feet. I never forgot that. And I said, wait a minute. She doesn't have to love it. She has to love the soul of everything. Got it. I
Wow.
don't have to like all of them. And I don't, and I never want to play with them. Thank you. Nor do I want to play with a lot of insects, but I love them and I love their
Cockroaches.
souls,
Yeah.
right?
But you
Right.
can love their soul. I get it. You can love their soul from
Oh,
afar.
well, it's the same thing with people. I don't like everything that everybody does, including me, but there's an unconditional love of the soul and the spirit of their life. And that we're either disconnected a little bit here and there, or we're disconnected a lot, or we're fully connected. And that's the light of our creator, source, divine, call it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. So, because we're not in charge, so we can call it anything we like, but whatever creates life is, I'm thinking, going, yeah, right. You can call me that one. No, don't call me that. I don't like that one.
God
Yeah.
is speaking to you now about that. Yeah. He's
I
just
think,
being funny. He's being humorous.
well, I was sitting with a table of excommunicated priests, or they had left out of choice,
Okay.
getting
A whole
priest and
table of
nun.
them.
Oh
Did
yeah, we were at a wedding of an ex-nun and an ex-priest, and I had been one of their counselors,
Oh
spiritual
my
counselor.
God, that's fascinating.
Right. So the priests were all at the table with me, about 5 or 6 of them, and we're chatting, and they say, "Well, he for God," and then they look at me and go, "I'm sorry, she." I said, "Well, who gives birth to life?" And
Touche. What can they say? Well, goddess, God. It's like
right, it's all the
I
same.
think
I
it's
call
like,
it shim.
yeah, Shim. Okay. I almost think it's like whatever that soul or that person decides they want it to be, whatever image makes them think of the highest light and highest good. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
So where did you come to it? How did you come to it?
Come to what? My psychic abilities? Or this
Mm,
version of God? What?
yeah, the version.
Oh, the version of God. Um, I'll have to be honest. I'm still figuring it out.
Oh,
I,
good. So
I
am I.
okay.
You know what I call it? The universal algorithms.
Oh, universal algorithms. That's wonderful. I say divine oneness, the divine.
Me too.
Um,
Isn't that a
yeah,
beautiful word?
yeah. I like divine. It feels like this elevated state that brings me higher to that connection within and without, within and above. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
So we haven't even, I'm sorry, we haven't even gotten through your bio, and I'm already sharing this story about spiders and we go to snakes. So I'm gonna finish your bio here. But you can already tell she's amazing, right? After 18 minutes. And the deep care and connection that she has with every living thing and people. It's wonderful. So Nancy helps people discover their own innate connection with all of life through her writings, workshops, and private sessions. And I highly recommend that you go to Nancy's website. And do you want to say your website? Because I think it's really wonderful, everything you share, everything you have to offer, your workshops and everything. Would you like to share that? Your website?
What about it?
Your address, your URL.
Oh, okay. My
Is it your
name,
name?
NancyOrlenWeber.com.
Yeah,
Everything.
NancyOrlenWeber.com.
It's Soul Talk YouTube, Nancy Orlen Weber.
Yeah.
Soul Talk with Nancy Orlen Weber. My free weekly newsletter. Anybody who wants it just goes to my website, up it will come, and you can order it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, Nancy resides with her husband in New Jersey and with or without snakes.
without. Unless they are
Okay.
outdoors. We live in a lake community, so there are snakes probably, but
There's snakes outside.
I've
Yeah.
never really met them.
Okay. Okay. They respectfully keep their distance. So you have 5 children and 12 grandchildren. Wow, my homage to you.
And one great-grandchild now.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. Your bio needs to be updated with this one
Mhm.
great
He's
grandchild.
new,
Yeah, he's new. Oh,
brand
how
new.
old?
Probably, he's right now 6 months old.
Oh, and do you get to spend time with him?
He lives out of state. We saw him about 6 weeks ago, something like that, 5 weeks ago. He's adorable. He's very smart, of course, and charming, of course. But I believe I go with something I believed many, many years ago. Uh, it takes a village to raise a child. So it wouldn't matter if I had children or not. I always believed every child is ours. Treat it like it's ours, and then we make a better planet.
Yes. Amen. That's
So
beautiful.
whoever I see, they're mine anyhow,
Oh, that's wonderful.
right? But they are.
Yeah.
I mean, people who get worried about their child making noise on a Zoom meeting, right? And or their dog comes in or their cat, and they go, oh. I go, why are you doing that? They're your family. Treat them like good family. I like them. And I'm thinking, wow, they walk a dog and they go, don't, don't bark. I go, that's their language. Why are you saying anything? Listen to them. They're talking with you.
Ah,
What if you treat it differently, they respond differently. Like Cesar and everyone else who became very well known as animal communicators, Penny Smith and a whole bunch of people. What we all learn is you start with not looking at the form, you start looking at the soul.
mm,
And in order to do that, Carissa, you have to feel your own presence as an unconditionally loving soul, right? And through that, we talk with the horse, the spider, the snake, the chipmunk,
hmm
and they all know how to get along only if we're like that.
Yeah. And the trees too talk to me now. They know I'm awake. They say, hey, she's awake. They talking to each other like she can hear us.
Don't you love it? We live in a lake community and it's wonderful. So we have a lot of
Yeah.
wildlife, and there's outside our back, off our deck, we have woods all over a little hill, and there are 3 trees that hug each other that I take photos of all the time. I love them so. And then in my drawings, I have trees in almost all my the world pictures, I call them. They're little characters, and right. So in it, I understand that the trees love each other, and I have one called Friends, where it's a stump, but it looks like it has a voice coming,
Yeah.
talking to a tree standing, because the tree's going to always attempt to feed the stump. They do nutritionally through the root system. So they're always in communication. And when I
Mm.
drive somewhere and see all the different trees, because we've got lots all around, uh, I look and I go, that's amazing. They really love each other. And then my husband, who's Mr. Science and psychic, he always say, well, they also are fighting for who gets more nutrition or so. And I go, uh-huh, war. I get you. Go drive. Be quiet. You're annoying the trees.
Oh, I think my dog doesn't want me to forget about her. She just like knocked down the door.
Oh, good. Is she there?
Yeah, she's here. Akira.
Hiya, Kara.
Oh,
Hello, sweetheart.
can you see her ear behind?
I can only see a little piece of you, but
Oh,
oh, I
okay.
see you. You're so cute. I see your back.
Well, she must have felt your energy because she literally like, I thought I locked my door.
Not if I want to open it, she said. Right? I will
Oh
find a way.
yeah, it must be your energy because she's never done that before. I mean, she's wanted to come in. So that's really interesting. But yeah, I feel you about trees. When you start tuning into them,
Right.
it's just like that magnificence, that wisdom. Yeah, I just think they can help us so much if people can like take a moment and appreciate them. And yeah,
Giver of life.
yeah.
They're the givers of life. They see to it. It's any plant indoors, outdoors, right?
Mm.
They offer us so much.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, it's so funny saying your bio still.
No,
It's
we're not. We don't
25
need
minutes.
it.
Well, it's just like some of your hobbies are interesting. You
Mhm.
enjoy creating pen and ink drawings. So you were saying drawing trees and then you crochet and so you donate winter scarves and hats. Oh my
For the
gosh. So
indigenous. Yeah,
the
I do.
fabric of life is woven with love for all. Oh my gosh.
Well,
So,
that's my one of my favorite lines. Many years ago I wrote, and I said, yes, I walked around when I started understanding how important it was, one, not to be anxious, to stay as centered as I could, and to have a belief that would allow it. So being visual like you are, and I am, right? And most people are visual internally. Uh, I walked around imagining a tapestry of light,
mm,
colors, light waves, activity, and I thought it's a fabric, right? Of
yeah,
love.
a fabric of love. That's
Right.
beautiful.
So I love weaving. I've played with everything. The only thing that stays long is the pen and inks and painting on a program called Procreate. I do paintings, but right now I enjoy taking the iPad Pro anywhere and painting. It's easier, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, you don't have to have all the paints and everything. Well, when did you realize that you had psychic abilities? Have you had them since you were a child?
Yes. So I have a question for you. Did you recognize that they were psychic abilities right away?
No.
Right. So we didn't call it that, right?
Yeah. It took me a long time to call it that, actually.
Exactly. We didn't know. Well, you may have been raised in a generation that knew more about it,
Maybe.
perhaps, but it still took a while, right? So when I was about two, I
I
did
mean,
something
nobody talked to me about it.
exactly. My mother did. She would tell me to be quiet and not say another word
Okay.
because
Fair enough.
so the earliest one that I know and recount is probably about two and a half. My mom was talking to a woman. I was in the bedroom. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment
And that's
with my
pretty
mom
young
and
to
dad.
remember, I'll have to say, because
Oh, I
usually,
remember it well because of what happened.
okay.
So
Okay.
definitely. So I'm looking out there at them and I see a little something in the woman's belly. And I always had this imaginary man since birth. I called in my mind, man, or
Okay.
whatever. I could describe him. I could still see him. So uh, I heard the word, feeling like it came from the outside through this image of a male that said, baby. So I was so happy. I
Oh,
waddled down and I pointed to her belly. I went, baby. And she looked at my mother. I could still see the two of them. She turned to her mother, my mom, and said, how does she know? I just found out from the doctor. I didn't even tell my husband yet. And my mother looked at me and said, shut up, go to your room. And I thought, if I'm right,
yeah.
I was thrilled. I was more thrilled than I was upset with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I discounted that entirely because it was true. It was a baby. And I was so happy it was a baby because I like babies. I'm a baby.
Yeah, you are a baby, right?
Right. I still am at times. Just ask me. So, so that was that. But as I asked you, I didn't know what to call any of it. As a young nurse, I think it was maybe a month into being a nurse, crazy. Somebody's wheeled past me, the chart's in my hand, the doctor's standing right there looking at it. I'm looking at the chart, looking at the patient and going, why did you write congestive heart failure? He said, what do you mean? I said, he doesn't have that. I'm 19. God,
And
I
you were a
can't believe.
traditional RN. You went to school for nursing.
Yeah, Brooklyn
Mhm.
College. It was a
Mhm.
2-year associate program. But I thought, can't you see it? I said,
Mhm.
do an upper GI series. Like I know something. I look back and go, I would have smacked her.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
really,
because of
right?
your
What a mouth.
confidence.
Yeah. And yet, normally I was so insecure in other ways. It was crazy. What a, you know. So he went and did an upper GI and came back and said, how did you know? I said, you don't see the enlarged hiatal hernia? He said, you can see it? I said, of course. Can't you? So I had no clue that people did not
Ah,
see these things. It doesn't mean I see it all the time, but I was very focused on it, right? Because I didn't want to make a mistake. I had great training, great teachers. So making a mistake could cost somebody their life. And I wouldn't dream of giving them the wrong drug or the wrong medicine. So that was the start. It wasn't until I was leaving, my last job was running an acute psych unit in South Bronx. That's where I synthesized everything. I put together the fact that being this, I still didn't call it psychic. And I think I was 29 at the time when I left. I was 19 when I got in, so I had 10 years.
mhm.
I worked med surg. I worked everything before that. Isolation nursery.
Did words start to get around?
Oh, words got around because I was 20 working in an isolation nursery and I caught a, a doctor who would have killed the baby had I agreed to the order, but I was sneaky. There was a chart. I had heard about this doctor for labor and delivery costing kids or whatever. And digoxin is for an adult 0.25 milligrams for a heart condition. 25 milligrams will kill, I don't know how many hundreds of people, right? But it would kill anybody instantly. A baby, 0.025 or 0.0025. She wrote 25 milligrams. And so I called and told her to get in. She was very arrogant and said she didn't have time. I said, then I'm not giving anything. So she comes in, furious, doesn't want to read the chart at all, skims through it and signs her initials. I call my supervisor because I'm alone. And I said, I need the bathroom. Meanwhile, I took my order sheet and I went to the copy machine at the time. This is like 1964, five,
Mhm.
four. So I go copy machine. I get the copy of the order. I stick it in my bra. I come back with the original order, show her, and she said, if you gave it, you're not liable. I said, excuse me? She said, well, what do you want to do? I said, call the chief of pediatrics
Yeah.
over now. So she did. And when I told him, he said, "Oh, I'll go talk to her." I said, "Oh, no, you won't just talk to her. You will go and do something about it and investigate her. Or I go to the newspapers because I have a copy of the order where you can't touch it."
Oh, was she
So
doing
this
this
is,
on purpose?
no, she was not. Wait. The next morning, he comes back and he thanks me because she didn't have a medical license.
Oh, dang.
That was my first capture.
Wow.
Prison.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, rightfully. However, those are the only times I was firm and strong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And you get that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know you do. We
You know, because
identify,
you're psychic. You
but
get
we
me.
identify with each other on this point. But we care about
Yes.
the others, which is why I always did that other technique and worked on integrating the brain. When music came along, super learning was the first one to talk about bihemispheric music,
Mm. Is that
60 B-flat
like
quarter.
binaural beats too?
But that's where they all came from.
But that's where they all
Bob
came from.
Bob Monroe Institute for Remote Viewing and Music and all that. He lived down the road from me in Croton-on-Hudson. Croton-on-Hudson was the hubbub. 10 minutes from Dr. Andrea Puharich, who brought parapsychology into our country with Aldous Huxley, made the Faraday cage. Anybody can look it up. These were the people I knew. So Bob Monroe knew the people who authored Psychic Discoveries Behind the Iron Curtain. One's from Canada, Sheila Ostranda, and the other one was Lynn Schroeder, who lived in Allendale, I think it's called, in New Jersey, east of me. But by then, when I lived in New York in Croton-on-Hudson, I knew all of them. They were my friends.
Is there
So
some kind of
Bob,
vortex in New Jersey that like makes
New
psychics
York, New York.
in New York? Okay. And it's
Yes, it was.
to
It
New
was the
Jersey.
hub. I met the guy who Albert Einstein founded with Larry Bogart and I forget the head of the Chemical Corporation. God, can't remember his name, but Albert Einstein left his papers to Dr. Ernst Sternglass on anti-nuke and everything about it. Allied Chemical, the president of Allied Chemical walked away. His right-hand man, Larry Bogart, lived in New Jersey. So it was all New York and New Jersey together.
Okay.
Everything was the hub. And so Lynn Schroeder had written in the book Psychic Discoveries, one chapter, Dr. Grogi Lozanoff, Bulgaria paid him to do studies on learning. And so super learning was the first music shown to the world on the Western Hemisphere. Steve Halpern, all the others, blah, 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 they all took that and they made their own thing. I always talk about the roots.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that's
trace the roots.
fascinating. That's so fascinating.
Well, because nobody does it on their own. I don't do anything that hasn't
Mhm.
come before me, probably,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
right?
Right. Probably. But you
You
do
know,
have a unique way. I mean, you have a
what
unique
we all do.
and
You don't think you have a unique way?
I do.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
And the end of that part. Everybody is sculpting their own path.
I'm not going to argue with you ever. I believe you and trust you with all my heart and soul.
Thank you. I feel the same way. When I met you, I went, "Oh, I couldn't wait to talk with you."
Oh, I feel so blessed. So, and it's just fascinating to hear about that because I know a lot of psychics in New Jersey and but I guess New York too. And then also the UK. I find there's a lot
You know
there.
why?
Okay, yes, tell me. I love this.
Okay. Western Hemisphere. Back, I don't know when, okay, so in World War II and after, in the UK was Young's associate, Ida Rolfe, a different Rolfing. Ida was a psychiatrist. And so she loved the psychics. And one of them was Margaret Flavel Twardell. And she was also a medium,
Mhm.
brilliant lady, loving, caring. She would take the three of them into a psychiatric hospital and turn them loose and tell the administrator, they're my secretaries, in order for them to go do their healing work. Then, as time went on, right, Margaret was apparently connected to, uh, I wish, Ruth Mattson, I think her name is, and A.J. Ford. So A.J. Ford said, when I die, you need to find a good medium and I will come through. So
Okay.
he dies, and Margaret is the medium. And the book got published called Witness from Beyond. And a woman in our country, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who wrote On Death and Dying and everything else and started the hospice in
So
the US,
famous. Yes.
read her book and said, I need to do the hospice work. Margaret came here to Westchester County, New York, 5 minutes from me, and we became best friends, and we both knew that we were sisters in another life. I attended her workshop once, had a reading once, because when I was 10 years old, and I didn't agree to any of it usually, I wanted to do everything myself, like a little brat, but friend, mutual, we all worked with the Environment Organic Food Co-op we started, uh, Earth Day, Green, we were involved in everything, every spoke of the wheel. We all understood how important being everything, intuitive, psychic caretakers for the planet, for people. So when I was 10, I had a repetitive dream of a woman sitting opposite me with a British accent. And she would say, it's your turn to give a reading. And I woke up 10 years old wondering, she didn't even have a book in her hand. I didn't get it. But I remembered on the wall on the right side was a mirror with seashells around it in a oval shaped frame. So Margaret's giving me my one reading I had with her. And she finished, and she looks at me, she goes, yes, dear. Look over here. And I look at the wall, there's that seashell mirror. And I look at her, she said, yes, dear, it's your turn to give the reading. I remember. I said, you came to me when I was in my sleep? She said, yes, dear. Isn't
Wow.
that cool?
That is so cool. I
I
mean,
love her.
what a confirmation too.
So what I didn't know is she brought parapsychology to our country,
Oh.
along with Dr. Andrea Puharich a little after, around the same time, who brought Uri Geller here, found Peter Herkos, Ego Swan. He became the first, whatever, shaman. He lived 10 minutes from me.
Mm.
And I
I really
was,
resonate with shamans also.
yeah, so do I. There was a shaman. I didn't meet him, but I saw him on a documentary with Bill Moyer many years ago. And I was hysterical laughing by them because I understood we're psychic. There is no one formula on this. You're not always right. You need proof and all that. So Bill goes up and he hears about this great shaman who everyone loves. And the shaman has the biggest smile I've ever seen, right? Happy, 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 joyful. And Bill said to him, so what do you do? Do you say special chants and make salves? And the guy laughed and laughed and he goes, it depends on what they need.
Yeah.
And that kind of summed it all up. And I'm clapping, watching the TV going, you got it. It depends on what they need. You don't have a formula. You have a soul talking to another
Yes.
soul who has
Yes.
certain needs. And it's your job to serve that need, even if they go, well, I asked for your help and I don't like what you gave me. So that's okay. I trust what came through.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that they know that at the time. Most do, but every so often you run into these roadblock people
Hmm.
where you don't understand. But if you're asked to do the work and what comes through is not pleasing to them, it doesn't mean it's not what they needed.
Ah, I see.
As long as what you're saying is not nasty or unfair or
Hmm.
prejudicial or just garbage.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
if they cannot hear that, that's okay.
Yeah. Now, now these are people, when you've shared this, they were paying you, right? They were your clients.
Absolutely.
And they still have
Once
this
it's,
roadblock because it's so
well, very,
interesting.
very
Yeah.
infrequently, though.
Very
It doesn't,
infrequently. Because I
yeah.
haven't run across that yet, but I haven't seen as many clients as you. But
I'm 80. What do you
okay.
want?
Oh my God. You look
Wait till you're
amazing.
80 and you won't say
And
that.
I
I
will.
swear to you.
I'll see it all, right. But it's just interesting because I found when they pay me, they believe me, like they're ready and
Much
they're
more. Of
open.
course.
But I
Right.
do a lot of free
Both.
things too, and the free
So do
things
I.
people
So
are,
do I.
yeah,
No, you know what? If you trust your intuition, you also are letting the universe test everything and teach you, right?
yes,
And I think of one client who came early on who on the phone said, I don't have the money for it. And I said, how about we do 50%? Oh, thank you so much. So I'm giving her a reading, and all of a sudden I see Hawaii. Now I can hardly afford to put food on table at that time. And I'm looking at her and I'm going, why do I see Hawaii? She said, oh, because I just came back from 10 days there. That's why I couldn't afford everything. I never played that game again. When somebody wants a scholarship, I give scholarships to my upcoming classes. I have a lot of master classes coming up.
hmm
Um, I'm teaching a group out of Germany and throughout Europe. And so what I did with them, because their income rate is very different than America in
hmm
some ways, I appropriated according to what they also say. I take into account what they say, what I feel, and then we find a common denominator. So impartial scholarships, full scholarships, and sliding scale for clients, mentoring, everything, workshops, it's only appropriate. But I ask questions and I say, okay, what if you had a payment plan? Can you afford that?
yeah,
Right? So it depends on their earnestness,
yeah,
because you can
exactly.
find wealthy people who just have a big tax bill, as somebody said. And I said, uh-huh.
They just paid that and they don't want to, right?
So I'm very careful about that, but also I know karma is karma. So
Yeah,
if they want to lie, go ahead and lie. If you want to steal, go ahead. It's your problem. You're going to live with it, not me.
right, right, right. Um, well, what about your kids and grandchildren? Do you help them enhance their abilities and encourage them?
I love you.
What?
I
You,
love you.
oh,
Yes.
oh,
So,
why? Their parents are like, no, don't do that. No, I mean,
no, no, no.
yeah, they want you
Uh-uh.
to, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Because these children
So,
coming onto this earth are just like our
oh yeah,
heroes. I mean,
everybody.
they
If you
are,
treat everybody as gifted, I don't care how or what, but everyone comes with their own gifts. So my husband and I, in 1991, I guess, we were gifted with a local unit of a church. There are 3 local units in the country, and we have a very unique status. It's holistic health freedom. We ordain and certify lay practitioners of all kinds, and we have a safety net for them because we believe that's more important than anything. We don't. It's under the religious IRS, but IRS says every religion is a church and they don't care what that religion is. Our belief is about climate warming and about lay practices being safe. And we want you to stay safe and we want you to practice safe. So we started that in 2010, actually, because I did a lot of weddings before that. And right, I get you. I hear you. Yeah. So in doing all of it, I come across the universal testing, right, of what they're going to want to do. And so some of them will say, well, don't you have a webinar I could just watch on my own? I go, no, you're talking with me in the class. I want to hear you. I want to know who you are and what you're doing. because if you don't understand, we'll tweak you or not approve. Simple. So we keep everything going like that for a long time. And now in today's world, I find that all the need, it's spokes of the wheel. So we're the hub, the soul, right? And the spokes are all the things we do, and they all connect. That's the spider web again. Oh, I just thought of something I have to jump into. Your daughter. So if you do a picture with her, like a dartboard, only not darts or anything, but this board, this is her. Now, one spoke is what she loves to do most.
Mm.
So she makes a drawing of words, whatever. Then
Mm-hmm.
she goes to another spoke. And what do you do a lot of every day? Eat. Oh, okay. So that's another spoke, right? And you make all the spokes. And you look at it when she's done and you go, that's a spider web.
Oh, do a spider web. I was thinking that I was imagining a spider, with the 8 legs.
But you wouldn't put it, no, no,
That's too.
the web.
The web is so, oh my God, so amazing. Your soul is just continuing to be of service. It's just like, this is supposed to be about highlighting you, and you're just like wanting to help me and my
No,
daughter.
no, but
I
that's a
appreciate
highlight.
it.
That's a highlight.
A highlight.
Okay, when you help others, when you give a reading and they love it, how do you feel?
I feel uplifted, peaceful, on
Thank you.
purpose.
I win.
Ah, good point. Touche.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all that. So we're tested about it. And I can recall one day a woman comes in for a half-hour session in New York City when I was working back there in the 80s, I guess. And 15 minutes into it, she goes with her thick French accent, "This is not what I came for." So I said, okay.
Ah,
So I gave her the tape immediately and I gave her back half the money. I said, have a good day. And I sat and said, I got a 15-minute break. I was so happy. And so the end of the day, 8 o'clock, the last client comes in and she goes and looks at me and goes, I had a reading with you last year and it was amazing. And I've done everything you said and I'm back for more. I said, okay. In other words, I don't go off center because, and I was already tested prior to that in other ways, but it translates just like everything else connects. When I got super excited by something, it threw me off center. When I got super upset about something, it threw me off center. Hello, hello, mindfulness, right?
yeah.
So I learned that, and that day I was thrilled with me that I didn't get thrown by either one.
Oh, right. By the
Got it? I
huge
stayed,
praise or
doesn't,
the
right,
negative. It
doesn't
didn't
matter.
affect you. It's that
It's just,
neutrality. Mhm.
right, because the word work isn't a harsh word. It means we are productive and we love being productive and we love serving the community at large. Okay, so we do. And so I recognized that I was absolutely thrilled that I didn't have any inner feelings that were ridiculous, right? A year later, I get a call, and the woman has a very thick French accent.
Yeah, the one that walked out on you. I was
Right.
I was just thinking that. I was like, she's gonna come back to you for more.
See what you're doing? So, haha, told you. I was waiting for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
that
she
was the point. She wanted to apologize and ask if she could still have any reading. I said, of course she can. And that's what I meant by never worry about if they don't get it or not.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you're serving and they made the appointment, whether they pay or not, they've made an appointment, they want to hear what you say. And in crime cases, for instance, I have a whole write-up. We send it to everyone who asks to work with it. I only work with law enforcement and those who are directly involved in the case. But if not law enforcement, I want to know their attachment. I want to know who's working on it legally. I am not going to work with the family because who knows who's the killer, right?
A
If it's
lot of
something
times
like
it's
that.
someone
Right,
close,
right.
right?
It could be. So,
Could be the
right, it
family.
could be anything. I'm not
Yeah.
going to look at it until I agree to work. I do not. I don't look at what's online. I don't
Okay.
I don't deal with any of it because every day I get requests on that and on my medical intuitive animal blah blah blah. So
So the
if it
so families request you decline.
no, I don't. I write back. I have a form email to write back to them about if I I need to know what your connection and
Oh,
who legally, what law enforcement is working on it, and can I speak with them too?
okay.
I don't play the game because I'm not going to make anybody unsafe. And so in doing that, I discovered that, when I'm working on a case like that or not, uh, I'm looking at knowing that a lot of things I may find they won't accept, or they will, or they think I should just give a name, like somebody yesterday. Well, I want to know the name of, and I go, that's nice.
Because I don't get names I
I
don't
don't
get
get
names.
them all the time, and I don't even
You do.
care.
Oh.
No. Okay, so here's the whole point. On any reading, any listener is listening about what it is, we're not in charge.
We're a
We're not,
vessel, right? A channel.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And if you are meant to do the work, you do it as it comes to you, not what they want or what you think you should do. No shoulda,
Mm.
coulda, woulda, right?
Just allow.
If you don't allow it to come through clearly. So if I get something, because I love psychology and psychiatry, have always been able to do it well, I know that. And I understood how you put the pieces together. So if I'm getting something that is similar to something in my life, I stop and I tell them, look, before I address it with you, I have to clarify this about my own world and what happened, because I don't want you to believe that it's all clean and clear coming through without me first getting this out of the way. And then I'll go back to that and see if it's still coming through. I have to push something away because it identifies exactly with what you just said. So you have to
Oh,
know
that's
yourself.
interesting. I don't do that. That's so interesting.
Shakespeare said it, know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so true. It is how the clearer you get. And what I found working with law enforcement was the challenge was so intense, right? Walking into a fresh crime scene, working cold cases, no matter what. Everything is different every single time. And if you're not fully there, then you're going to be a little cloudy and it won't be as clean coming through. And it can take like a half hour show is 22 minutes actually with commercials. That 22-minute condensed show may have taken days, weeks, months to complete the case. Sometimes minutes, but most of the time, you'll get a few things and then you go over and over and over, just like a cop with their little notebooks and pencils. They took every word down that I said, every single word they recorded. And they had to put it in a murder book in paper. Right? So I did the same thing they did because I believe that's how psychics do it. If you're clairvoyant, for instance, you have a photograph of whatever it is you saw, you can go back to the photograph and get a zoom lens in your mind
Mm-hmm.
and start looking at the details of the hologram, the
Mm-hmm.
complete, right? And then get more and more details as you look. So the more you look, the more you get. It's like pulling a thread.
Mm.
But it doesn't all happen I always quietly tell myself, I am not an eight ball. There is no guarantee I can get anything. It's not about me. It's about whether this is for the spiritual path of all involved. If I am meant to be the vessel, then I am. If I am not, then I'm not. And whatever I get is what I'm supposed to get. Nothing more, nothing less. And that makes us very comfortable doing our work.
Wow. Uh, oh my God. I was just like on the edge of my seat when you were talking about your process of just being a clairvoyant and zooming in on the picture and seeing all the details. That's amazing.
Train
Oh,
it. Train it.
you have to
You,
train it. Yeah.
no, you play with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we both laugh a lot, and I know that. And you both, we have a lot of fun. And that's part of what works, actually, is you
Because
have to
we're
look
we're
at it
like
as
loose or something. It's like a loose energy or open
you have to
energy.
love the art of nature,
Okay.
if you will. So we're part of nature. So if you close your eyes and picture a rose, can you imagine right now uh, a petal,
Mm-hmm.
one petal? Can you touch it with your mind as if your fingers are touching the petal?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get the scent of it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, I want you to imagine that you're walking away from it and turning around and looking at it from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one beautiful rose, and you love seeing it. So you walk much closer to it, and you go and you put your face, your eyes right by it within inches. There you go. Zoom lens.
There it is.
That's how you do it. And it's
Oh.
three-dimensional.
Mm.
So, right?
Yeah.
Not a flat screen. So you also see yourself walking around the rose,
Mm.
whatever it is. You picture something and then you play with it. You play like a child would, because
Okay.
they don't have all that adult nuttiness that most of us have. Of I should, I could, I would. Oh, I have to do this. I'm overwhelmed. I can't stand it. What am I going to? So all my techniques in Soul Detective, it's the first real self-help, big time, 42 exercises, techniques. Everything in it are things I developed like that, playing with my mind. It's an electronic device. Your mind is a wireless computer. That's how computers have been born, actually.
Oh, really? They
Oh,
take the
absolutely.
traits of the brain and interesting.
Nervous system, brain, gut, all
Yeah.
that connecting stuff. Uh, that's us. The computer doesn't
Mm.
judge. Data in, data out. Software programs, nervous system, blood, goes to every cell. Storage unit, filled
Yeah.
up.
Well, I'm curious, how much time do you have? Do you have to leave soon?
I don't know.
Okay, then
I
that's fine.
just realized
If you have
I
enough
have like
time.
10 minutes.
Oh, you have 10 minutes. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll try to wrap it up here. But I did want to know, I mean, of course, I could probably talk to you all day and still not get to all my questions. In fact, I think I only asked one question. But anyway, what's been your most moving case that you helped to solve?
It all depends. So one of them was uh, uh, okay, the missing children. I'll deal with that. And that's in the life of a psychic detective. I only put anything out that's adjudicated completely and everyone's safe.
Okay.
So I got a call after a radio show, and the woman said, my daughter's children were parentally abducted. This is 1980 something. I don't remember, probably
Okay.
about 83. Can she call you? I said, of course. I hung up. Her daughter calls and says, I'd like to come and bring somebody with me to help. I
Mhm.
said, okay. So they come to the door. I open it, and the sheriff's investigator, Lou Masterbone, looks at me. He goes, I don't believe in any of this. I said, that's fine.
Yeah.
And we go into my office and we sit down. And one thing leads to another. And I feel, and I give them steps I see along the way of what happened, where I see the children, three of them. I see a truck. I forget what color I saw. They said, yes, he has one. I said, oh, he was told by the court he could no longer stay in that house. Right, that's when it all happened. Okay, and he's got a woman with him. and they went to Euless, Texas.
Okay.
Now, I had no idea what Euless, Texas was. I didn't know it existed. So we had to get an encyclopedia, I thought. But then Lou stopped me. He said, we know he's in Euless, Texas, or was.
Oh,
I said, really? I was shocked. Okay, one thing led to another, and then they came back again. It's 4 hours. This is months because we had no computer. That not at 1983, no one had them. And so the police in Euless, Texas wouldn't go looking, etc., because they wouldn't communicate with New Jersey. Right?
um,
At that time, there was poor communication throughout. Depends. They were busy, whatever. I don't know. Anyhow,
yeah,
more and more stuff happened. And then months go by, and poor mom, devastated because she was awarded the children
yeah,
totally,
100%, right?
a
100%
hundred percent.
custody.
Right. And so she comes back with him, and we're 4 hours into it. I'm exhausted, and I had a rescue dog named Ramona, and she was sleeping on my feet. And he says, okay, I got California, I got East Street, I think, I got the ocean, I could see the end of the block. And he's saying, but where? California's huge. What city? At that point, Ramona looks up at me, and I go, Ramona, thinking she wanted something. And he goes, Ramona, California? And I said, I'm looking at my dog, I'm looking at him, I'm going, yeah, Ramona, California. They were. So
That's
uh,
amazing.
this time it took days for the police to come, right? And when they got to the door, he had just moved with the kids to a new job in somewhere in Hawaii on one of the islands, and nobody knew what. So I said, do you want to find out? He said, yeah. What? I said, get his mother to bring her checks that she sent out to the judge. He said, she'd never do that. I said, yes, she will. She's afraid of the judge. The check showed where she sent it.
Yeah.
The first bench warrant, I don't know if it was in the country, but I knew it was the first bench warrant issued in New Jersey. So Lou Masterbo goes to the judge and said, we have the address and we want to get a bench warrant. No one had ever given one for parental abduction. And he said, okay, how do you know where? He said, a psychic found it. He said, do
Okay.
you believe that? He said, yes. And so they issued the first bench warrant for felony. So nobody had to kidnap the babies back. And so they went, called the police there. They issued a bench warrant, put them in jail, took the kids home. She had called me about it a week before, and I said, you'll see them come under an arch at 4 p.m., I think it was. And yeah, so that's the most moving for me,
Yes, I
most
agree.
satisfying,
Most satisfying. Wonderful.
in that way, in that way.
Yeah, in that way.
Others, yeah, catching killers and stopping them from killing, serial killer, that matters. I
Yeah.
know to the
Yeah,
life of people, but this
of
one was
course.
the sweetest, I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, of course, especially with your love for children. Well, I
Yeah.
just want to give one testimonial for your book, Soul Detective. Nancy is a powerful spiritual leader who educates others on how to develop their own natural psychic ability, which I actually felt today in the interview.
Good.
The exercises in this book unlock something within me that I didn't realize I had. This is one of the greatest books ever written, and I recommend it to anyone who wants to not only raise their vibration, but learn how to increase the psychic ability by one of the best leaders in the country. That was by Marissa Schmidt. So, and I know you have to go. I just wanted to ask you one more question. What is Zen success to you? Zen success.
I know what you just said. Hang
Sorry.
on. Also, the book won't be ready until sometime in October, so I will let you know. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Coming
Zen
soon.
success
Coming
is
soon.
exactly what we've been talking about, because the oneness and operating from the oneness. So we're connected at a high frequency when we're in the oneness. And the moment we disconnect a little bit from that, we feel less satisfied with life. I think that's the only way we can put it. I find that Zen success teaches. It's a tool that teaches what it's really about. Your soul is the hub. You have a lot of things operating, not all of them the way you might like them, but Zen success says very clearly, if you understand and accept this is part of life, you have no problem, even with your problems.
Well, I love that definition. It was such a pleasure to speak with you. I feel like you're a hero and an angel here on earth.
Thank you.
And it's such a pleasure connecting with you. I'll put your website and how to order your book coming in October in the show notes. So thanks for being on my show today, Nancy.
Thank you, my love. It was so fun with you. You know that. Sisters. Everyone is our sister.
Yeah.
Everyone is our brother. Every animal, same thing. We're all together. I love it. Thank you, Carissa.
Thank
This
you.
is wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much, Nancy. Many
Take
blessings.
care, sweetheart. You too, many. And your daughter, give her a hug for me, please.
Okay, I will. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's it for today's episode of Zen Success. Head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to shows. Subscribe to the show and share with friends. Be sure to head on over to ZenSuccessShow.com to help you on your Zen success journey. And join us on the next episode. May you find your own Zen success in life.